Jam, we've got so much quality footage, we're cutting another one from it. This second part of this AV Jam is completely separate to the first part, but it's all about Whisper Suites and a little bit about the differences between ISE and Infocom. So we've got a good section for you to look at here. Hope you guys enjoy it.
You know, too many products get seen at shows, and you can't sell it. Your customers can't buy it. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lesson in it's a moral lesson that we should all learn. We should actually write a fable or a parable about this. But the fact is that everything that you're going to get, please take with a grain of salt. And I'm not just talking about products that are talked about in concept, because God knows those are years out. But you go to these shows, please go in with a little bit of restraint and excitement to that. Yes, something may be coming, but ask the important questions. Don't go by what the spec sheet is, because a lot of times it may be hype.
But
so,
you guys bench test stuff, right? I mean, when I was on the integration side, if I had to do my own designs, that's why I went and finally got my CTSD to prove that I could do that. But I used to have to do my own designs, pick my own equipment, and anytime anything hit the dock that I hadn't integrated before or I hadn't personally seen in one of my systems, I was in the back opening the box, making sure the ports that they said were on the back are on the back, that the audio outputs work, that the two things, that if it has two video ports, that they output simultaneously. I mean, all of those things. I mean, because there's always that little catch-22 in there somewhere. And until you've actually opened it and done this, you say, okay, it is good, but these are the 2 or 3 little things you have to know to get it to work right. Those in the field will take the guy 2 days. In the office, when you're not under pressure, you can figure it out in an hour, right?
Yeah, and that is so true. I think the last one of them, without naming what it is for me, the wording was so spurious. It wouldn't actually tell you, but it doesn't deny that the system itself didn't scale.
Yeah.
And then when you actually test it before it goes out and you realise it doesn't, you put that into the back of, say, a video system, but it doesn't keep the same resolution, that video system fails. And back when I did it, it was a video system that when it got a bit of a spurious EDID going into it, rebooted the codec. No spec sheet tells you that.
No. Well, yeah. It's those are always the funny ones to find. I mean, when I used to do museums, we'd have that where we have displays out in the exhibits, and then in the rack we have a housekeeping computer with a preview monitor. And depending on the boot sequence, the preview monitor is a different EDID than the exhibits. And so if somebody could go in there and open that up, and if that hijacked the EDID, it screwed up the exhibits. So you had to get those little EDID emulators and spoof it, with the emulator, so that the computer always output one, and let the local monitor scale it, but lock the output with an emulator. But yeah, you're right. Those you never know what that's going to do.
This is it. I said this is the big thing. When you go to the shows and wrestling, yes, it's good to take some of the hype. It's always nice to see what is potentially coming. These are the questions. It's better break past that marketing and find out, okay, when are you truly shipping this? Not when you think, when are you truly shipping this? And before you do, give me one. Let me have it go. Don't expect me to design it from day one.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Good
Bring
luck.
up a great point that I'd like to ask you guys is, we recently chatted back and forth online about shows and technology shows that are coming up and this year. And, one of the things that I put out there was, do we find either ISE or Infocom, because you guys have been to both, so have we. Do you find that one show is more, the product concept? Like, I'll give you an example. When you go to auto shows, everybody's showing a concept car. It's never going to be produced for like 10 years. Is ISE doing more concepts than Infocom is, as far as like giving you or wetting your beak about here's something that's coming in years to come? I've heard that, ISE drops the products and gives you the sneak peek for the next, what's to come, while Infocom is now become the, hey, it's now shipping on this date, and these are the products that are available right now. I've heard that split. Do you guys see the same thing? I mean, I know that you guys have spent time at both shows.
I think for me, ISE, I've still not done Infocom yet, so June,
Good talk.
We're not. But ISC, I think, it is a bit of a mix. I think, dependent on the hall that you go to, there's a lot of here and now, new release, shipping now. There is a lot of that. But if you look at display and signage, that hall especially is totally out there. Some of it you can walk in and say, okay, this is our latest and greatest, as it would have been, and I'm not expecting this year, here's our latest and greatest 8K, shipping right now. But here's a roll-up screen that we're potentially going to drop this year, but maybe it's in free. Definitely that hall, I think, is more hit and miss with not product, but when you know that product is coming.
Find out. If we see where there are more whisper suites, and that's what the big trend is. If you want to talk concept, that's where the concepts are being talked about in the whisper suites. If ISC has more whisper suites than Infocom, then you can now prove that one is more concept based than the other. Because in the whisper suites is where you're going to see the magic happen. You know what I'm saying? That's where the wizardry of what we do as AV people and specialize in. That's old school mindset right there. What we're doing in those back rooms to then bring in, clients. And we're manufacturers. If we're going to have a whisper suite, I want you to come and see the cool, magic trick that I can do with my piece of technology, because it may be solving a problem. What's nice about whisper suites is that I get real feedback from people like you guys that are out in the field. And for a manufacturer, that's the best R&D that we can have. Years ago, not years ago, but not too long ago, when Unicy was a product in those whisper suites, they got a lot of feedback. And a lot of people that took a look at that were very excited about it, but at the same token, gave a lot of good information right back to Barco to go back and make those additional tweaks that were necessary. And, I don't think any company that's working on products today, if you're not taking those concepts to a show and bringing in real deal, feet on the street, people that are solving the problems out there right now, getting that feedback, you're doing your company a disservice. Yeah. So, whisper suites, that statistic is a very interesting thing because it leads to the future and the health of our industry.
Well, what you said is interesting, and it's that empathy. You have to have if you're going to do R&D today, you have to use customer empathy. You have to have people in the room that are having the pain and the problem who can tell you, yes, I like that. No, I don't like this. Why doesn't it do this instead? The 4 things that it needs to do, it does 3 of them. Great. Then we actually get some of that real feedback. And then the ironic part about that is, at least here, we see at our show that when you get the people in the room that are actually buying the products and can give you that empathy, the integrators are mad that those people are now showing up at the show. You're like, wait a second, those are the people that help us develop the products. We do want those people at the show. They should be part of the process. Yeah. And the biggest complaints I heard, people talk price on the show floor, do this. Well, that's just poor form on the part of the manufacturer then if they're talking pricing on the show floor, anything other than MSRP. Yeah. That's an easy problem to solve. It's not a reason to not have end users there, right? Just everything on the floor is retail price. And then you can actually have conversations with both. And guess what? If you're an integrator, then you can stumble into a booth and maybe meet the guy that you've been calling for 6 months that won't return your phone call. That'd be nice, right? So,
sounds familiar.
Yeah, I do that.
I was on the voice thing 2 years ago. Very concept.
Oh, yeah.
Very in your face, but it was excellent. It was excellent what they did there. I really enjoyed it.
Do you know what? That I really did. I think that was the first time. They would have been very much more home-based. It was around more of their resi stuff, but then there was a little bit on the side that you could see it.
Yeah. Going back to those whisper suite stuff, you guys get invited into that. How important would it be? And my question to you is, if you had your clients with you, I mean, how valuable is that to see some of this, future technology? To your customers. And then the other, I guess the second part to that is, for us as a manufacturer, I would love to hear feedback from an integrator on, if I bring you into our whisper suites to show you our new products, when I was an integrator, I would feel kind of like, it to me was like, you're help raising the kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like help us along here. And you almost get a sense of pride that, hey man, I saw that thing when it was in in its early beta form, and we made a couple changes based on stuff that you guys said. I love hearing that. I think that it gives a little bit of ownership to you guys that you're actually shaping and molding it, and it's almost, and you as an integrator are going to know that those products are working, are being developed.
Yeah, it makes you feel special, doesn't it, to get that?
With your mindset. I'm sorry. Go ahead and answer this question.
We've got a number of clients, right, and they've all got the internet. So everybody researches the products that are coming out. Everybody knows about them already. So what extra value can we bring? This is where it is. This is where we get ahead of the game, and we can control and support our customers and our contacts, and at least they know something. So for me, absolutely valuable. Get ahead of the curve, speak about what you know about, and help somebody to make the right decision. You can do that, happy days. So more access, the better.
Totally. And for me, the bit I like is if I can get there in advance. The one thing I will say, this really truly does depend on the manufacturer themselves. Some of them you go in and they'll take you in and it's NDA and they tell you what's coming, when it's coming, and this is how it's going to be. And I get that, they want to show the product off in advance to get a bit of them hushes that are out there. But like I said, it's the ones that come in and when you come in, they ask your opinion. It's whether you do like it or not. No, it's just here's what it is and here's when it's coming. It's what you like and what you don't like. They're the ones I do like because, as you said, you feel like you're helping.
You're vested in it.
Of course you are.
Yeah, and you get that sense of, hey man, we're all in this together. And I think that the manufacturers that are bringing in, the integrators, the consultants, and tech managers, ultimately the end user. These are guys that work, to create a product and to send it out of an ivory tower and hope that people just, oh my God, you guys are going to love this, catch this because it's awesome, is the wrong mindset. I mean, like Mark says, you build on empathy, you go from empathy, so you go backwards to forwards. It's a different style of mentality to think. I think for many years, products were designed based on, well, we did widget A, so now we're going to do widget B, and we're going to add a port to it, call it new. And you're going to love it because you're still using VGA. Meanwhile, digital the analog sunset's approaching. We're done with those VGA products. Get that switch out of there. Get to this. So, starting to work with the integrator, find out where you guys are at, what your pain points are, is a big part of R&D. And I think it's very valuable for not just for manufacturers, but even for guys that are designing systems moving forward, just to step back and talk to their customers.
Well, it's to not do it as arrogance.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that old methodology of I know what you want before you know you want it, and I know better than you the way that you should have it delivered to you is just an arrogant attitude, right? I mean, seriously, it really is. It's one of those things where, it's almost like bedside manner. A lot of doctors, their bedside manner is, if you ask questions, they say, I'm the doctor. I went to medical school, just listen to me. I'm telling you what you need to do. I've been to dentists where they say the same thing. Oh, you need a root canal. Oh, why? Well, who are you? I'm the dentist. I just told you do. Why are you asking me questions? Right? So there are people that do that in life. And in today's world, people are information hungry. We're information hungry now, right? Because we have access to information. We want to know why. It's no longer this siloed thing. So.
Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. That's our... How many have we done on ISE? 3 now and shows. Hope you enjoyed them. Subscribe, all the weird and wacky stuff, and look out for our post-ISE review. Bye.